Not quite sure what happened to this thing yesterday, but I got went to lunch, and when I came back, it wouldn't start. It would just click. Another thing also is this track keeps getting loose. I can't find any grease anywhere. I pump it up, and it keeps getting loose again. So I got to look into that. But first, let's go see if the problem's still here. And now it's raining, so that's wonderful. Alright. Yeah. Just clicking. Alright. So I gotta get the cab up and get to the starter and figure out what's going on. So let me get this up and I'll get you back to you. Well, I'm getting a click, and when I take this off, I don't. And when I touch these two together, what's going on here? I'm not getting any connection to that. Well, the starter's going to need to come off then. We're going to have to take a look at that. So let me do that real quick. Some frayed wires, but there isn't. So this is a new starter. Well, newer. I put it in last year when I got the machine running. It is a cheap Chinese starter, so I don't know if maybe it just went out or what's going on, or if I just got like a loose wire or something. It's fairly easy to get to. I mean, you have to get the cab up, but alright, let's see what we got here. What's going on there? So, if I touch these two, I should get. I mean, that's the positive. This one here. So, that engages the Bendix when I do that, but I'm not getting any power to the starter. I jumped it yesterday after lunch. I jumped it by touching these two, but now I got nothing. Alright, let me disconnect the battery and get the starter out and put it on the bench and see what's going on. Can't find my multimeter, so I just cleaned off the terminals real quick. We're gonna go ahead and put this back on and then hook it up and see what's going on. I don't know. Did I put that on wrong? Alright, let me get back to you in a second here. feeling that the Bendix is bad on this, because I'm getting a click, but it won't start. I mean, it won't engage the starter. Come on, guy. Ay, ay, ay. What in the world? Oh, man. Where are you? Is that it? Yep, got it. There it goes. 17. Oh man, my freaking knee is making all sorts of crazy popping noises in this position. Yes, the socket would be easier here. I get it. Oh, that's better. Alright. I'm going to hook up the battery and see if we can get this to turn over. Alright, well, it was either this was sticking or one of those wires had a loose connection, but either way it fires up, so that fixes that. Now onto the bigger problem. This machine, when I first got it, this is a hydraulic tank right here, well, right here. No, that's the fuel tank. This is the hydraulic tank right here, and it was this low when I got it. Took 5 gallons of fluid, and well, let me back up a little bit. The machine was getting hot. I could run it for about 45 minutes, and then it was too hot. The temperature gauge went up, and I thought it was a radiator. I thought it was coolant. All that kind of stuff. So I flushed out the radiators. You know, you got the radiator in there, you got the cooler for the hydraulic tank, and then you got the cooler for the or condenser, whatever it's called, for the AC. They're all stacked in there. So took them out, cleaned them out, and put it back together, and it was still doing it. So I checked the hydraulic fluid, and it was low, like I said. So I filled it up, took 5 gallons. Well, after it took 5 gallons, the thing would run for, well, it runs for like 2 hours. Well, it run all day, but like after 2 hours, it starts to get hot again. Not in the red, but just like, you know, real close to the red, right at the top of the green, right in the red. So I'm like, okay, well, it was low on fluid and it would only run for 45 minutes. Now it's topped up on fluid and it runs for 2 hours. So my next guess is the sock or the pickup screen or whatever you call it down at the bottom of the tank. It's down here somewhere. Down at the bottom of the tank, there's a, pull it out and there's a sock in there. I'm wondering if that's clogged and I'm getting low flow, maybe, I don't know. We're gonna go ahead and turn the cab sideways so I can get to everything. I'm gonna go up to the hardware store, get a couple clean 5-gallon buckets, drain the fluid out of this thing, and then see if we can't get to that sock, pickup screen, whatever you want to call it, and see if we can't figure that out. So I'm gonna go get some buckets. I think that got it. I think that's gonna get me to where I need to be. Oh man, fender's in the way though. Maybe I gotta go. All right, so the oil, that's the main feed. I thought there was a, is it on the bottom of that thing maybe? I might have to turn this a different way. What the heck is going on here? Let me get a light, see if I can't find out. Oh, where it is. Messy under here. Alright, so that's the bottom of the tank there. That's where the main hose goes out. I thought there was a screen, a pickup or something. That's a fuel drain because that's a fuel tank. So this big giant nut here, I don't think that's it. Oh wait, yeah, here it is. This whole plate, that whole plate comes off. So we need to turn the cab on an angle here to get that. And I think, is this the drain? It's probably the drain. What's that? What is that filter? What is that thing for? I gotta look at that. Oh. That's right there. Oh, that's not being used anymore. They bypassed that. That's for fuel. Okay. Let me go ahead and get some buckets and we'll get this drained. I guess you drain it from there and then pull all these bolts off, pull that down, and the screen should be in there. So let's get this cab moved and figure out what to do. Alright, well, there's two ways I could do this. I could loosen these hose clamps, slide that hose back, and let it drain slowly into a bucket here, or I could take that drain plug out and do the same thing, crack it. Well, I think the problem is with this drain plug, it's going to leak all over that hose, leak on this framework, and then get all over the place. I got a better chance of doing this one. Just loosen this hose clamp, slide this hose back, and let it drain slowly into a bucket or two. Yeah, then I can tighten that up real quick when the bucket's getting full. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let me clean this up and see if I can't get these clamps loose. Well, I'll get it going quicker than that, but kind of want just a controlled draining of this thing. I'll pull off the cap on the top to let it vent, and we'll get this drained out. It'll be fine for now. I don't want to get it crazy. Hopefully this doesn't take more than 10 gallons, or hopefully 10 gallons. Yeah, hopefully the tank doesn't hold more than 10 gallons. And see what the screen looks like after this. I got all the hydraulic fluid out. There's just about 20 gallons. 5, 10, 15, 16, 7, about 17 gallons. Okay, so I'm going to pull off the bolts to hold that on. Oh boy. Alright, well, I got it out, and it's a little different than I thought. It's got a freaking filter on it, not a pickup screen. So I'm sure that this thing's never been changed. Oh, I guess it is a pickup. Alright. I was hoping that was going to look a lot dirtier than that. Here, let me get this drained off and we'll take a look at it. I flushed it out in diesel. It's still got a little bit of sediment on it, but it's when I first opened it up, it definitely was not as dirty as I thought it was going to be. Ideally, I know it's stupid to say, but ideally I was hoping this thing was really just gummed up with grime, and that was restricting flow, and then in turn not cooling quick enough when it goes through the cooler. But now I don't know what's going on. I might have to pull that cooler out again and see what's going on back there. But I don't know. Fan's turning the right way, and besides, if it wasn't, I don't think it would overheat. It would take, I mean, it doesn't overheat, but it wouldn't take 2 hours before it got hot. I think it would get hot right away. But this certainly doesn't seem dirty enough to restrict flow. So let's get this cleaned up and get the base cleaned up and the bottom of the tank cleaned up and get it reinstalled. That's as good as I can get it, really. There's some very, very fine particulates around that mesh, but if you can see the holes in there, then it's got this fine screen over the top of it. I don't know. Alright, well, I got this all back on. Everything's tightened up. Got the hose back on, the hose clamps back on. And this hose is pretty beat up. I don't know if I'm going to need to replace that. Keep an eye on that, see if it leaks. But as of right now, everything seems to be okay. So I got a little bit of oil up here, but I think that's squeezed out when I tightened it. Keep an eye on all this stuff. A lot of oil still kind of in the belly pan here, so, and all of these hoses and everything, so it's going to drip for a little bit, but I'm going to dump a little bit of oil in here now so that plate's covered, and we'll see if it's got any leaks. Let's go do that now. gallons. We got fresh oil back in this thing, and we're ready to go. I have all my my cylinders maxed out, so it's showing a little bit low, but that's normal. So the next thing that I got to do is rip apart this back end again and go through all of those coolers again. Find out if one of them is plugged up or it's got too much stuff on it. I don't know. That ought to do it. I wish I found the source of that overheating today, but cleaning that screen out gives me peace of mind that it's not that anymore, because that was wasn't a hard job, but it was messy. But no matter how clean you try to keep yourself, it's in my hair, it's all over me, it's all over the trailer, it's all over the bottom of the machine. Yeah, it's a mess. But I don't know if I can get that cleaned up. Magnet. I'm going to go ahead and get that all cleaned up down there. So if you would, please comment, rate, subscribe, and have a great day.